Hey new mamas, I'm here to do my 6-week update, and let me tell you, for the first 5 weeks I feel like we were really getting into the groove of things. It was super awesome, and then the 6th week hit and it felt like a nightmare. So stick with me as I share with you what made it a nightmare and how to tackle that. I'm doing this video with my daughter Callie right here. I don't know if you can see her all the way, but she's there. And we're just going to talk about how she's been doing over the last 6 weeks, kind of what I've been learning, the routine that we're in, and yeah, just being 6 weeks postpartum. So pretty much from the get-go, it was important for me to start a routine with her. It's hard with newborns though, because you know they cry when they're hungry and you feed them. And so at the beginning I was feeding on demand, but it pretty much fell into a rhythm of 2.5 to every 3 hours she would want to eat. And so I just started the routine of eating, then having some wake time, and then putting her down for a nap. And for the first 3 weeks there was really hardly any wake time. So she would pretty much eat, be awake for just a short amount of time and then go right down for a nap. And then at about 4 weeks was when I really felt like she started being more alert and, you know, wanting to be up. And so that's when we really started doing that, having playtime, tummy time, you know, I would read books and stuff. So that's around 4 weeks. And then by 6 weeks, she was smiling and being super interactive with us and engaging with us. It's crazy to see how much they grow from week 1 to week 6. I look back at her newborn pictures and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you've grown so much. She outgrew her newborn clothes at about 4 weeks, and so we've been wearing 0 to 3 for the last couple of weeks. When we went in for her appointment at 2 weeks, she had already gained a whole pound since we had left the hospital, which is really good because usually babies lose around 7 to 10% of their hospital weight, and by the 2-week checkup the doctor wants to see that they're at least back at their birth weight. So not only was she at her birth weight, but she was a pound above that, which was amazing to hear. Yeah, always encouraging. But even if your baby is just at their birth weight, that's still really, really good. Another thing at the 2-week appointment that I had noticed was that she was getting hard little balls, or one ball under each nipple, and was having vaginal discharge, and I was like, that's super weird. So I was really thankful that at the 2-week appointment I was able to ask her doctor, her pediatrician, about that, and he was like, that's totally normal, it's just the estrogen hormones that are in my body getting transferred to her, and so it was going to level out, and it did. By 6 weeks I didn't notice that at all. So that's just something that maybe you want to be aware of if you have a little baby girl. So for the first 5 weeks, I feel like we've really gotten into a groove, and she was eating every 3 hours about, giving me longer stretches at night, and then this past week, the 6-week mark, she just got super fussy and wanted to eat all the time, and I was like, what is going on? You're not sleeping and you're not happy after you eat, you won't let me put you down, you're just crying and fussy. And that's when I realized oh, it's a 6-week growth spurt. And you know, it's not only the 6-week growth spurt, but it's also a sleep regression can hit, and it's when they reach peak fussiness, and so it's usually the 6-week mark where they're most upset, and then things will start going downhill from there. But of course all of this was going on, and my husband was out of town, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But I just was like, that's fine, I'm just gonna hold her if she wants to be held. So this whole week I've just been holding her, and it only lasted for about 3 days where she was really cranky, and now I feel like she's really tired and just wants to sleep all the time she's doing right now. But yeah, so the 6-week growth spurt was really, really tough, but some ways you can tackle it is just to hold them, feed them really often. That's what I did, and I think just plan to do nothing for those few days where they are having their growth spurt, because I think if you set expectations for yourself, like I was like, okay, I don't even have to leave the house, and I don't have to clean the house, like I don't have to do anything, because I think if I were to have set like expectations for myself and not have been able to do them, I would have felt like really overwhelmed, because like she needed me and like other things needed me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like just throw away my to-do list and just be with her and hold her and just like love those moments that I've had with her this past week. So I am also 6 weeks postpartum, which means I just had my postpartum appointment with my OB and just got the all clear to exercise and have sex, which is frightening the first time, just because the last thing that came out of that area was a baby. But yeah, we've got the all clear. I can't wait to start exercising again, you know, just making time for that. It's gonna be really good. But yeah, I had just a small tear when I gave birth to her, and it only needed like 2 stitches, but like a few weeks ago, about like 3 weeks out, like I could see one of the stitches like hanging out, and so I had to go in and she had to cut it, but it made it a lot more comfortable. But yeah, just during this whole like 6 weeks of healing and just kind of getting back to like my body before, which that's probably never going to happen completely, but anyways, so just kind of healing. What has really helped me is like using an ice pack whenever you're feeling uncomfortable, and then taking warm baths, because if you do have stitches that are going to dissolve, it's easier for them to dissolve if you are like soaking down there in warm water. So that's really helped me. Another tip that I want to leave with you guys that has really helped me out these last 6 weeks is just to get into a routine. I feel like it's helped me feel a sense of like normalcy with life, and it's not just like, she's crying, what do I do? It's like, oh, she's crying, it's about time she needs to eat, or she's crying, she's probably tired. So it's really helped me to get a sense of normalcy, and I think it's helped Callie a lot to just have some consistency, because we are defining what their day looks like, and so if we give them some kind of like routine, it's easier for them to follow. I think I'm gonna make a video about some postpartum essentials, or like things to be aware of in the first few weeks of being postpartum, so keep your eye out for that, and that'll be coming to you shortly. But yeah, being 6 weeks postpartum and just being with her, it's been really awesome. We're learning a lot. She's doing really well, growing and really healthy, and I'm healing up, so it's been really good. Just been learning a lot, and just realizing that even in the thick of it, of having a 6-week growth spurt, which there are going to be plenty of those along the road, just embrace those moments and cherish the time that I have with her. So if there's anything that I can encourage you new mamas out there with, it's to stick with it and roll with the punches. It can be hard, it can be exhausting, but it does get better. I've even noticed since having like that growth spurt, like I feel like she's sleeping a lot better, so I feel like it's just like a jump that they have to make developmentally to get, you know, to those longer stretches. And so yeah, stick with it, keep going, you're doing great. If there's questions that you have, ask them. That's what I've been doing, and find answers, and I hope that I'm helping you find some of the answers, but also go with your gut, because you know what's best, and just enjoy these moments that you have with your little one. So I hope you have enjoyed the 6-week update with me and Callie. She's just now waking up, even though it's the end of the video. But if you are, I don't know, in the middle of those 6 weeks and you're just feeling really exhausted, I hope that you will just be encouraged by this. And if you are approaching your 6-week growth spurt, remember to hang in there in those moments. It will be short-lived, but enjoy those moments where your little one just wants to be held and loved on. But as always, if you have any advice or if you have any questions, comment them below. So don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch all of our videos. And we'll see you next time.